Good morning, everybody. Thank you for listening in. I want to welcome all of my new subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing, and I hope you find what you're looking for on my podcast. And if all of it is not helpful, I'm hoping that at least you find some key points that can assist you in your life's journey. So, I'm your psychic, Christine. And I'd love for you guys to go ahead and have a psychic reading. Go to my website, psychicreadingstoday.com, where you can be able to live chat and also have phone readings. Your first 3 minutes are going to be free via telephone. And you can just check out the prices and stuff on the live chats that you can have a reading done as well. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll also get a little mini sample tarot card reading as well. So be sure to go ahead and subscribe, browse the website, look at all of the products and services that are available to you, like I said, to help you in any way in your life's journey. So, in these episodes I don't number because this is Q&A, so it's really not an episode, it's just Q&A for us, and people send in via email or through my Instagram at Psychic Reading Expert, and they send in their questions, and I'm really glad that some of you are, are okay with me talking about your questions on this podcast, because lots of us have the same kinds of experiences in our lives, and through your questions we can help other listeners that might be going through the same sort of thing. So I just got a question in the other day. It's kind of a long one, so maybe I can only do this one question in this episode, so let's see how much time I have left if I can get to the others. So this question comes from On the Fence, and she's saying here that my marriage is on the fence, and I've been married for 15 years now, and my marriage, or in this relationship, it's showing that the relationship has drifted apart over the years. I'm kind of living my life, and he's kind of living his life. The issue is that I've started seeing someone else, so I guess you could say I've been cheating. And I'm not sure as to whether I want to try to work it out in my marriage or if that's even possible. And I'm also starting to feel like I'm developing feelings for this new person in my life. And I'm just really on the fence. I don't know whether to go left or right or what I should actually do. I feel really guilty about the cheating. But I just am afraid to, what is it saying here? I'm afraid to make waves. I don't feel ready to start to make waves and get into a big argument or whatever might be the results of me opening up and talking about what my problems are. So, okay, so I get the picture. I get it. So before I get into anything, I just want to let you and my listeners know here that when there's infidelity going on and in a marriage or in a dating relationship, whatever the case may be, the other person usually knows, okay? Not necessarily that they have facts as to what it is that you're doing, but they get feelings about stuff. And when you try to keep these things secret, sooner or later, it just comes out. Okay? So psychically, what I'm feeling about this situation is that your husband is in fact aware that something is wrong and something isn't right, and is basically trying to please you, is what I'm tuning into, and kind of letting you be free and do whatever it is that you want. There have been issues, I feel, in this relationship for a really long time. And what I feel is that the one that you're with, meaning in the marriage, psychically I feel that he's failing to meet your expectations as to what it is that you want in a relationship. And this is what's put him in a position where he's just kind of distance, or there's the relationship is growing apart, but in his mind he's kind of letting you be you and just trying to hold it together. the best way that he can. And for you, yeah, it takes a lot of courage to start talking and expressing yourself, thinking, yeah, you're going to make waves, it's one thing is going to lead to another, and you don't know what the repercussions of talking are. But, honey, that's the only way to fix things. Actually, I feel that there is, in fact, hope for your marriage to work. The reason that I say that is psychically I feel that your husband is just a very busy person and hasn't invested enough time into this relationship. And I feel that you are as well. And little by little, as you've mentioned, this relationship has been growing apart for years. You're not the same people that you used to be when all of this started. You've changed into different people. So it feels to me psychically that communication is key. Okay, and obviously you're both afraid to speak to one another because I can also feel from him that he's also afraid of making waves and talking. So I think it's important to talk about what the problems are, try to work it out, and what also needs to happen from that point is you need to reintroduce yourselves to one another. Get to know the new people that you've become. It's important for you to encourage your spouse to talk, communicate, talk about the future, the present, the 5-year plan, whatever it may be. You've got to kind of share each other's vision. And same goes for you. You need to do that too. But before you do any of that, you're going to have to tell this other person that you're seeing, that's got to stop for a while at least, until you have an opportunity to work on your relationship so that way you're clear. Because the problem with cheating is this, is I feel that you don't have any malicious intentions here. But the problem is that you could be misleading not one person, but 2 people. Okay? And that's not fair. That's not fair for all parties involved, including yourself. So I think that you need to cut off that new person. I feel that it's like a new thing. I don't feel that this is something that's been going on for a long time. And you've got to get to work and speak up and speak your truth to your spouse. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, you've got to let it out. Because you know what? Holding all of that stuff inside, just going through the motions in your marriage without any heart, that brings in a lot of negative energy, okay? Sometimes that's the pebble that turns into an avalanche. So let's try to nip this problem at the bud. Please take my advice on that one. And thank you so much for sending in your question, and I hope that that advice helps you. So I might have a little time for this next question here. It says here that I'm up in my age, and this is from I Have No Love. I'm up in my age now, and my relationships are brief. I've never really had a serious relationship with someone, although I would love to, but nothing ever seems to work out. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. But you're not stuck, and you're not too late or too old to have that in your life. People, there's time for you. Psychically, I feel that. So what I feel the problem is here is that you're a wonderful listener, is what I feel. But you're not really engaging in the dating or whatever it is that does happen. You're kind of handing the steering wheel of a relationship to the other person. And that other person starts to feel a lot of pressure or starts to, it doesn't form, it doesn't develop, it doesn't go anywhere because you're not doing your part is what I'm seeing. You're not being clear as to what your expectations are. And you're just, what would be how I see this? You're kind of like, living too much, you're kind of like, oh, how could I put this into words? Trying to figure out the other person and letting them, like I said, have full control. You're not engaging enough, basically, and this is why your relationships are plateauing and then they just end. Okay? So basically, I guess what I'm trying to say here is you need to be present and you need to engage. I think you're, like I said, in a date or whatever, you're thinking too much. Okay, is this going to be the person that I can be with? Is this a good partner for the future? Blah, blah, blah. So you're not being present. That's one. The other thing that I feel that you're doing wrong is I feel that you're not clear on what your wants and needs and expectations are in a relationship. You're just wanting to adjust yourself and, what would be the word, kind of reinvent yourself to trying to be that person that's going to please the person that you're with, and when you do that, you're not really being genuine, your genuine self. So be yourself, try to get more comfortable, allow yourself to go ahead and be a little bit vulnerable. Let's not play detective. And like I said, let's not be so fixated on the future and try to be more present. I know I was a little all over the place on this second question that came in. It's a little hard for me to express verbally what I see psychically, but I hope my point got across. I want to wish you all the best of luck. Thank you so much for listening, and again, be sure to go to my website and have a psychic reading done, psychicreadingstoday.com. Check it out. Thank you.